Welcome back to Cover Killer Nation's Heavy Metal Holidays. Here we have another couple of bands for you to check out from heavy metal's history, so you might have something brand new to listen to during this holiday season, whichever it is that you happen to celebrate. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. On with the bands.
Did you know that the term death metal may have actually been coined by a thrash metal band? Well, that's a popular rumor that circulates. The band is Onslaught, and they were a thrash metal group in the 1980s before coming back in the 2000s, bigger, badder, stronger, and thrashier than ever. Man, this group kicked some serious ass. Really, they gained a lot of traction during the second wave of thrash metal's heyday, but in reality they were around also for the first, so they were kind of lost in the whole hullabaloo of everything, similar to a band such as Overkill or Heathen. Once they came back in the 2000s, however, Onslaught started to really display their true power. This is thrash metal that has a little bit more of an evil heritage behind it, one that just seems to kick ass but also has some dark principles. So people that really enjoy the darker side, the more occult side of heavy metal may actually gravitate toward this thrash metal band a whole hell of a lot more. But traditional thrash fans should also check this out, considering god damn the riffs. Okay, this gets confusing. Originally, Tekort was in a band called Green Carnation before he was an Emperor. Green Carnation, of course, became a project of his after Emperor dissolved in the early part of the 2000s. But during the 1990s, while he was in Emperor, the remaining members of the original Green Carnation ended up in a group entitled In the Woods. That's the band you're supposed to check out. You can check out Green Carnation and Emperor if you like, but most of you might know those names already. In the Woods played a very avant-garde style of metal that had a lot of doom approach to them as well as some folk elements, but this is one that certainly showcases exactly the power of just sort of the weird and the bizarre. This band is actually pretty darn awesome, and just about any album that you find from this group is going to sound a little bit different than its predecessor or its follower. So even though this band is no longer around, considering Green Carnation got back together and released some great albums including Light of Day, Day of Darkness, In the Woods is not a band that should be slept on. In fact, it's a band that you should put on before you go to sleep and really discover some amazing metal. This is a band I just love talking about. Dead Horse was a group from Texas in the later portions of the 1980s and the 1990s that recently came back. They perform a style of music that they dub as horsecore, which is in reality just kind of a strange principle that seems to showcase a lot of elements of punk as well as a little bit of thrash and just some overall experimentation within their metal catalog. Think about what Freak Kitchen or bands like them do for traditional style heavy metal, and you can kind of understand what Dead Horse was really able to accomplish for the more hardcore scenes or some of the standard styles or varieties of thrash metal, and it makes a little bit more sense. Or does it? Oh boy, the Latent Stage is certainly a song to check out from these guys, as well as their version of Rock Lobster. That's right, they did a cover of Rock Lobster, and it's pretty damn hysterical. This is certainly a band to check out. They are a little underground, sometimes difficult to find, but it's well worth it if you do. And with that being said, thank you for watching Day 5 of Cover Killer Nation's 12 Days of Heavy Metal. Hopefully you found a couple of bands that you didn't know already, and if you do know about these groups, leave some similar artists that people may not know in the comments below. That way they can check out something even more underground this holiday season. I hope to see you all tomorrow along with your friends when we reach the halfway point of Cover Killer Nation's 12 Days of Heavy Metal.